Hey guys, welcome to Find Your Flow. I am Natalie and I thank you for joining me today for day 5 of Nourish. We have a full body flow, which is great to slot in when you maybe don't have time for a full hour-long practice. So hop into your comfy clothes and I'll meet you on the mat. Awesome everyone, jumping on in, straight away coming down to the ground and finding yourself a super comfy seat. And when you arrive there, take your time just to take any last fidget or itch movement you need to before arriving on our mat in this stillness. But closing the eyes, really finding this heaviness. Perhaps you simply lower the gaze. As we start to feel ourselves reaching a little taller. Really growing from our pelvis space, the part that's connected to the earth, and feeling the support, and let that be what helps us to rise, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Really picturing everything in our body as one whole piece that's connected together some way, because that's what it is. So let's think about that, spreading this spider's web like the fascia across our whole body. And how we move today really matters. So can we connect to this place in our asana practice where we listen in order to find this harmony with our breath, our movement, mind, body, energy, absolutely everything. Breathing deep. Perhaps we curl up the corners of the mouth, just helping to soften any tension from the face. And for our next 3 breaths, in through the nose, inhaling lots of love, exhaling, sigh out the mouth, anything that doesn't serve you anymore. Twice more. With every in-breath, we invite in a new moment. With every exhale, we soften, release tension. Nice. And then everybody floating the palms together at the heart. You can keep the eyes closed here or start to gently flutter them open as we press the palms into one another actively. The elbows come away towards opposite sides. And we start to really feel this engagement all through the wrists, the forearms, elbows, biceps, triceps, all the way up to the shoulder, and just connecting to this strength today, finding stability. Watching if those shoulders have crept up near the ears, sending them down, and keep this active press as we spiral our fingers away from our body. And then down towards the ground, stretching into the wrists, but also strengthening this really important area. Nice, then really slowly lifting all the way back up. And interlacing the hands, bring the elbows towards each other as we pump the wrists up and down. Keep this soft, keep it easy. Beautiful. And then just shaking out the wrists. And then send the arms wide, reach all the way for the sky, gaze up. Find something new here, grow a little taller. And release, coming back into a tabletop, all fours. With the wrists beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Find this sturdy, stable tabletop. And then floating straight away into cat pose. Find this movement from the tailbone, then roll it through the spine, dropping the head last of all. Really let your breath lead the way as we make our way into cow. Lifting our gaze slightly, keeping the back of the neck long, really breathing into this movement in the spine. Nice. Back into cat pose whenever you're ready. Keep pressing into the palms And then float your way into cow and take away the destination that we're trying to get to here. Really experience the journey. One more time through cat and cow. Nice. Floating your way back to a neutral spine and sending the right leg back behind us, keeping the toes tucked under as we rock forwards and back, forwards and back. Nice. And then lift the right leg off the ground. Keep it hovering here. It doesn't need to be super, super high. No higher than the pelvis space, keeping this sturdy and stable tailbone. And then option here to reach the left hand forwards. And really reach your way through the heel and through the fingertips. Keeping the spine long, not collapsing in the shoulder space. Beautiful. And then everybody reaching the left arm in front. So if it means we bring the back toes down to find more stability, then do so. Wherever we are, find one more breath. And either stay in here, really connecting to the center, creating that Agni, or reaching behind with the left hand to take hold of the right foot. Take a breath in as you reach away, lifting, thinking cobra, upward facing dog in the chest, lifting the heart forwards. And melting your way back, all fours, tabletop. Nice. Just sending the hips to the left and our gaze past our right shoulder. Bumping the hips to the right, gazing past the left. And then floating our way to center, tucking the toes under, walking the hands back onto the thighs. Sending some love and space to the feet. Nice. Keep as tall as we can through all four sides of the torso. Inhale to reach the arms high. As we exhale, open to the right into a twist. Really find space between the palms. And then make your way back up to center and open to the left. Nice. Waking up the center. And all the way back, reach tall before floating into tabletop. Sending the left leg behind us this time, tucking the toes under as we start to rock forwards and back. Nice option to lift the left leg off the ground. An option to reach the right hand forwards. Remember, we can keep the toes on the ground as we grow our practice. Choose your own adventure. And then final bus stop, option to take hold of the left foot in the right hand, reaching tall, kicking away, keeping as much length as we can as we lift our heart forward, find one more breath, and then making our way back, tabletop. Just circling through the hips here, kind of finding like a sideways cat-cow, just really make this feel good. Can we use breath to help stimulate and fuel our movement? Nice. And then tucking the toes under, walking the hands forward. We'll press down through the palms, lengthening even more through the spine, and keep this length as we lead with the hips, reaching them for the sky, downward facing dog. Find what movement you want to take here. Maybe you stay quite still. Maybe we rock the hips. Maybe we take our dog for a walk and start to pedal through the heels. Wherever we are, keep the knees softly bent, being kind to our lower back, spine, and the backs of the legs. And then everybody walking, stepping, or hopping the feet forwards into a fold. Crown of the head down towards the ground, arms soft. Inhaling, reaching up halfway. Exhale, come to fold. Pressing down, we rise all the way up to standing, reach for the sky with the arms. And exhale, hands come together at the heart in Anjali Mudra. And sending the left hand down the left leg. We'll reach our right arm all the way towards the sky. Really keep reaching. Imagine we have a heavy shopping bag in the left hand. The right arm might start to reach over slightly. And maybe we take our gaze either down towards the ground, or if there's space, lift it up towards the sky. Take one more breath here. And then make your way back to center, sending the right hand down, left hand slides across the side body and reaches up. Maybe we fold over, just listen to what feels good and to where there is space. Listen to where you want the gaze today. Really feel the support beneath the feet from the ground. And then lift your way all the way back up. Nice. Curling the chin towards the chest, rolling into a forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale to release, plant the palms and step both feet back, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. From our down dog, we'll curl our spine into an angry cat. So lift our spine towards the sky as much as we can as we roll forwards, bringing the shoulders over the wrists and keeping our weight shifting forward. Option in our plank pose here to bring the knees down to the ground. Really take everything at where you are today. And then sending the elbows behind us, we'll lower slowly to the earth. Really resist the earth as we lower down. Taking the feet nice and wide, planting the palms back by our rib cage. We'll send the shoulders forwards, round and back. Exhaling to lift, cobra. And releasing, gorgeous. 2 more times. Resist the urge to press the palms, to muscle into this. We're using the strength from our back body as we grow a little taller. Once more. Nice. And coming down to the ground, pressing through the palms, we lift our way up and into a tabletop, all fours. Sending the right leg out to the side, like our lovely image of our weeing dog. Be mindful straight away that we aren't collapsing into the left side, maybe taking the leg a little bit lower if we need to. And just invite a really big circle into the right knee. Super nice and spacious. 2 more this direction. And then send your circles, whenever you're ready, in the opposite direction. And keep pressing into both palms evenly here, so we aren't dumping our weight anywhere. And then when you've finished, stepping that right foot straight up, give it a helping hand if you need to, as we reach the fingertips forwards and up, coming into a lunge. Back knee on the ground, you can take whatever padding you want to under the back knee. Option to stay here or tuck the back toes under as we really root and connect to the earth. Find your energy, gather it up as we lift the back knee, high lunge. Wherever you are, breathe deep. Floating the left hand down to the ground, we'll reach the right hand all the way to the sky into a twist. And releasing everybody, framing the front foot. Back knee can be lifted or lowered, keeping a nice long spine. Take the support you might want from your at-home props here. And then planting the palms, stepping straight back, your plank pose. Sending the weight forward as we lower down with control. Pressing the palms lightly, lifting the heart forwards, cobra. And releasing. Pressing all the way up and back. This time, downward facing dog. So tuck the toes under, sit back on the heels. Find your length as we rise. Beautiful. Taking a breath here. And then super slowly, we're going to curl forwards. Bringing the knees down towards the ground, hovering them off the earth before they get there. And releasing. Lifting the left leg out to the side now. Be careful not to collapse into the right side body. Inviting these beautiful circles into our hips. Just spreading some space, love, and awareness here. 3 one way, and then send your circles in the opposite direction. Beautiful. When you're done, step the left foot up into your lunge. Reach the fingers forwards and up for the sky. And breathe deep. Option to stay here in our low lunge or tuck the back toes under. Really gather this energy from the earth as we lift the back knee off and rise. Keeping the front knee over the front ankle, front toes nice and soft, back heel sending away. Feel this activeness throughout the entire body. And then floating the right hand down, reach the left hand all the way towards the sky, the ribs spiral over to the left side. One more breath here. On your exhale, frame the front foot, runner's lunge, back knee lifted or lowered. Breathe into the hip space we're finding. Nice, and then plant the palms, make your way back into your plank pose. Shift the weight forward, send the elbows back, lower down with control. Planting the palms, everybody rising, lifting the heart forward. Cobra pose, Bhujangasana, and releasing down to the ground. Now as we lift back, option to take a child's pose with the knees apart, toes together, or lift your way into downward facing dog. So choose where you are here. Nice. And then everybody making your way into down dog. Take your time to arrive there. Move with the breath. Move in a way that feels good. Then floating the left leg off the earth behind us, sending away through the heel, and then curling the left knee towards the front of your mat and stepping it up. Keeping our back foot, back heel lifted as everybody rises into a high lunge slowly. Really feel the connection to the earth as we lift up, reaching the hands. Taking the feet, making sure they're on that two parallel lines, like that train track. Lots of love being sent to the sacrum and lower back space. And then pivoting the back foot to the ground, turning the toes out. As we take our hands to our back thigh, spiral it forwards, internally rotating our right thigh, making our way into warrior one. Nice. Front knee bends over the back, over the front ankle. Keeping the shoulders nice and soft. And everybody float the hands to the hips as we lengthen through that front leg. Well, imagine we have a piece of string from the crown of our head and it's really lifting us tall. We keep as tall as we can as we fold forward, hinge from the hips. And as soon as your spine starts to round, that's where we stay. In our pyramid pose, lengthening even taller. Option to bring the palms together at the heart. Or maybe, if we have the space, reaching behind for a reverse namaste. Finding one more breath here. And then bending that front knee as we unravel. Reach the hands for the sky, coming back into warrior one. And then releasing the arms, interlacing them behind us, sending the knuckles down and away as we lift through our heart. And keep lifting as we fold forwards, crown of the head down towards the ground. Humble warrior. Feel each of the toes on the earth, rooting down through all four corners of both feet. And then slowly lifting up just so we can bring our hands either side of the front foot. We'll step back, make our way into a plank pose. Connect to the breath as we rock our weight forward. Elbows float behind as we lower down. Pressing our way lightly, lifting into our cobra. Maybe we have space to lift a little higher, maybe we don't. Go with whatever you feel. And then release. Make your way, everybody, this time into a downward facing dog. Tucking the toes, sitting back and lifting high. Finding space, getting the blood flowing all around, new oxygen, new energy. Sending the right leg away from the earth into a three-legged dog. Nice and active in the entire body, then bend that right knee and step it all the way up into a high lunge. But take your time, step your feet maybe a little bit wider, rooting down to rise up. Arms reach, nice. Taking a breath in and out. And everybody pivoting the back foot to the ground. Turning those toes out, hands come to the back thighs, we spiral it forwards into our warrior one. Notice and feel how the pelvis space feels. Every single part of our spine, the low back, mid back, upper back, the shoulder space, the neck, the head. Nice, and then straightening through that front leg, keeping it straight but not locked. As the hands float to the hips, we reach super, super tall. Imagine that piece of string again, like we're a puppet, pulling us forwards now as we hinge into our pyramid pose. Perfect opportunity to take a look at the toes. If they're clutching on to the mat, can we release them and keep this right hip plugging back, left thigh spiraling forwards. Taking another option in the hands if this feels good for you. Making sure we don't collapse in the shoulder space. Lifting tall, one more breath. And bend in the front knee. We make our way back up into our warrior one, taking a breath with the arms reaching, and then sending them behind, interlacing. Knuckles float down and away as we reach forward and lower into a humble warrior. Nice. From here, releasing the arms lightly as we send the hands either side of the front foot. Step your way back into your plank pose, staying here. Knees lifted or lowered, really pressing the palms away to lift out of the shoulder space. Connecting to our center as we lift the right leg off the mat and bring the knee towards the elbow. So we're either down on the ground like this or lifted. And then send the right leg back, lifting the left leg, bending the knee, bringing it towards the left elbow. Nice. Stepping back 2 more times on each side. You've got this. Move slow and with control. Let the breath guide us and fuel our movement. Nice. And whenever you're ready, lower down to the ground. Lightly press up into a cobra and release. Everybody floating back into either a downward facing dog or a child's pose. And wherever you are, taking the opportunity, connecting to each inhale and exhale. The only moment we have is now. What is happening? How do you feel in this present moment? Nice. Everybody slowly meeting together in a table top, so coming up or coming down. We will plant the right hand down, reach the left hand all the way to the sky, really feel the spiral through the ribs, and then thread the left hand through and under the bridge of the right arm. I don't know about you, but I just have some days where this pose just, makes me just feel so good. So take a smile, make sure you're breathing. Option to float the right hand to the small of the back, but we're not trying to crank our way into this, just easing into this rotation. Our spine is thanking us for it, pressing down through the right palm now. We rise, lift our left arm back up and out. And then releasing and floating onto the other side. So root through the left palm, reach the right hand all the way up, and then thread it through. Option to reach the hand behind, keeping the right hand soft on the earth. And of course, listening if we need any support underneath the head and neck, taking what we need. Gorgeous. Pressing the left palm into the earth as we lift and rise. Right fingertips flow all the way up, and then softening, scooting the legs to one side and making our way into a seat in the center of the mat. Last little fire we are finding in the belly. Bringing the soles of the feet together, opening the knees out wide in our Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. So we can walk the feet out a little bit more if we want to find some space, or walk them in if we already have the space. Listen to your body, there's no competition here. Reaching our spine even taller than we can. And slightly starting to rock back onto the tailbone. We'll use our hands to bring our knees together. As we lift our legs off the ground, bring our shins parallel to the sky, floating our way into boat pose or Navasana. Keeping this lift in the heart. Nice long neck with that puppet on the string. And then releasing feet together, Baddha Konasana. Nice. Rather than cranking our way into this hip opener, we're just letting the knees open naturally. Feel good. Before rocking onto the tailbone, floating the knees together, guiding them, lifting the shins, and finding boat pose. We might like to keep the hands on the hamstrings here for support. If we feel comfortable, hands might like to come to the heart. Wherever we are, waking up the center, helping to protect our back body as well as create this strength and this stability in our front body. Nice, releasing one more time. Soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. And then shifting back onto the tailbone, knees towards each other, and we lift, Navasana. And from here you might like to explore lengthening the legs if that's in your practice, or just experimenting with the arms. Even if you only hold something for a second, can we just start to have a little bit more fun with things? Doesn't matter if we fall. One more breath wherever we are playing. And then releasing the feet to the ground, reaching the hands forward as we curl the chin towards the chest. Slowly start to roll our lower back, mid back, and upper back onto the earth. And when we arrive there, hugging the knees in, finding Apanasana. Gently moving from side to side. Gorgeous. And then lengthening the legs out long and reaching our arms back behind us. And taking the left wrist with the right hand and shuffling our upper body over towards the right side. And then crossing our left leg over our right. So we're really feeling some length through our left side body. Almost like a curly banana shape here. Only go as far as feels comfortable. Find a couple more breaths. And then slowly unraveling, taking hold of the right wrist with the left hand, scooting it over to the left side, and then right leg crosses over the left. One more breath, and on your exhale, make your way all the way back to center and come to find your final, most precious resting posture, Shavasana. And this is more of an express yoga practice, so it's when you want to shift things around, We don't necessarily have a lot of time, so you can extend this Shavasana. And if you do have the time, I really invite you to spend it doing something like this that nourishes and really helps to repair and rest the body. But if you don't, and you have to boogie, just spending 5 breaths here, taking all of the tension away from the body, allowing the muscles to melt away from the bone and sink into the earth that's really protecting you beneath you. If we're moving on to our next venture, bringing the palms together, we meet in the middle. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. From my heart to yours, Namaste.